We're going to start with some energy, then we're going to have a dynamic presentation, and we're going to end with energy. Sorry to say that all these folks that brought in gear like rowboats and drums, we're going to end that way. So you're going to have to hold on to those. But I want to start by giving out some recognitions, as we always do, and has been our tradition for the last few years. I first want to take a moment to recognize Holyoke High School new teachers because they won the third annual treasure hunt. If you were on that winning team, stand up. They braved the weather, the elements. It was pouring rain to capture the winning prize, which were some lovely lollipops, feathers, and Starbucks gift cards. As we do every year, I think it's important that we start the back to school with honoring the experience that we have and the talent that we have of folks that have been committed to this district for a long period of time. So I would ask anybody who has been teaching in Holyoke for 20 or more years to please stand. Okay, stay standing. Stay standing. If you've been teaching for 25 or more years, stay standing. If you work, not just teaching, work in the Holyoke Public Schools for 25 or more years, so work. Sorry, I meant worked. So now, if you've been teaching in the Holyoke Public Schools for 30 or more years, please stand. All right, those people, I want you to come up. We have a little small gift. Those people, 30 or more years, come up. Come up. Joe, come on. All right, take a notice of who these people are. They know where all the bodies are. They know where everything is in the school. These are the people that new teachers you need to look at as folks in the know. Let's give them a standing ovation, these people again. What's that? Well, I made a comment to one of them, you look too young to be in the system that long, and then everybody else says, what about me? All right, thank you very much. Anybody, wait, one more thing. Anybody 35 or more years? Oh boy, okay. Okay. Whoa, okay. 41 and 40. Oh wait, 40, right here. There we go, 40. All right, congratulations and thank you. I wish we could do more than just a flower, but it's a small token for everything that you've done for the system. Please make sure to congratulate those people that were recognized here as you go back to your schools and start the school year. So, to kick off my remarks this year, I want to start by saying we are firmly committed to creating engaging and personalized pathways for all students to succeed in college, career, and in community leadership. That's our vision, that's what we believe, that's what we do for kids. To this end, this year we open 2 new middle schools. A middle school alternative model, we launch our high school academies, our one city, one high school. We are expanding early college options for students, and we're introducing more job shadowing and internship opportunities for our students at the high school level. In the spirit of these academies and our new Visual and Performing Arts Academy, we have brought back a more advanced and sophisticated carpool karaoke that takes into account the singing, dancing, and acting abilities of our students and staff. Regardless of our talents, which some of us, like myself, have 0, but I'm passionate. We all have a passion to perform and express ideas through the arts. This is precisely what we want for our students as they make choices about the experiences and approaches that motivate them and connect them to learning. Let the journey begin as we travel the pathway to the start of the 2018-19 school year. All right. We want to get everybody pumped and inspired for the upcoming school year. So I've decided to venture out to community field. My understanding is we've got somebody here who can help us, who is doing some summer work. Hey lady, you ready for round 2? Come on in. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, good to see you. Hey, listen, doesn't look like you're working very hard over there.
You know, taking a half day. This is my friend Kayla.
Oh, hey Kayla, how you doing?
You know, a lot of people told us we had to work on our singing. So
Yeah.
I figured she was in The Little Mermaid, so I figured she'd be the best bet for us to help us sing.
Oh yeah, I do remember. And you know what? We were pretty bad last year.
It's a small town girl living in a lonely world. It's a lot better than us, trust me.
Yeah, Kayla, what grade are you going into?
I'm gonna be a junior.
Junior, awesome. All right, so you're telling me she's got some serious talent. Because I didn't bring you back for your voice.
No, you did not.
So, Kayla, I thought we'd start. I want to test you, really, because he says you're a great singer, but I don't know. Under the sea, we want to hear Kayla do her signature song.
More unfortunate souls in pain.
Pretty good.
I think she's a keeper. What are you looking forward to for the start of school this year?
I'm looking forward to the college process, getting accepted into college, and one last year with all my teachers.
All right, what about you? What are you looking forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to getting to know a lot of the new people that are coming in, like the new freshmen, and I'm looking forward to getting my work done and just getting straight A's.
So what is your advice to the new freshmen?
My advice is to just be yourself. Don't try and be someone you're not, and just stay focused on your work, and you'll get through it all in a flash.
What about you, Brendan? Big senior, what's your advice to the new students?
Freshman year is the most important. It's not going to be the hardest workload, but doing your work and getting it done is going to be the hardest. And you have to make a balance for your social life, your sports, and then your work.
How long is it going to take?
2 minutes.
Tell the wife.
All right. Welcome. Who do we have in the back?
Mr. Grishane.
Oh, this is very unexpected.
I've been known about that too.
All right. Whoa! We're halfway there. Whoa! Living on a prayer. you're a little too old school for this group.
Oh, I'm
So not everybody can hang with me and the kids here.
I like $1,000,000 bills. Where's my pen? Some sorry. Worry. Hop up the stoop, jump in the coop. With the car, top of the roof. Bustin' the roof as hard as I can. Eating halal, driving the land.
Hey, Mr. Soria, you ready for the pickup?
I'm ready for the pickup.
Hey!
What's going on?
Yeah, come on in. Where to?
This again?
Let me introduce you to our secret weapon this year, Kayla.
Kayla,
Yeah.
I recognize you
Yeah,
from the
so-
musical.
Yes, and you know what? So far, she's delivered, Mr. Soria. We're introducing dancing this year. I've arranged for a dance instructor to join us.
Hola!
Hey, Edgar, ven con nosotros. Ven con nosotros. Edgar.
Yeah.
You need to teach us how to bailar in this car. What's your favorite place to eat?
Let's go to Fiesta Cafe.
Fiesta Cafe. Best day of my life. Falling outside my window. Danza Kuduro. Yeah, we made it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm already. Let's hear it. Celebration times, come on. Let's celebrate. Celebration times, come on. Kayla, just show us the moves before we get to Kelly's school of how to do this Kiki. I have no idea who Kiki is.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you. And I'm down for you always.
Kelly's school, okay.
I need you to drop me off there.
Gotta be real with Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you. And I'm down for you always, KB. Do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave.
I'm excited to welcome back all my friends and staff to another great school year. Go Knights!
I'm happy to start the new school year and make sure to get involved with all the activities in your school.
Bienvenidos a la escuela este año escolar. Queremos que todo el mundo esté contento por el comenzado escolar y bienvenidos a los maestros, los colegas, a todo el mundo. Mira, que estén contentos este año. Vamos a esforzarlo a todo el mundo. Y acuérdense que en este año es no más de 5 ausencias, no puede faltar de 5 ausencias. Tiene que tener la escuela todos los días. Espero con ustedes en los colegas. Gracias y vamos a luchar para adelante.
Can't wait to see everybody. Welcome our staff back. It's going to be a terrific year in the Holyoke Public Schools. Welcome back to all our student, staff, and families as we kick off what will be an awesome year.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you. I'm down for you always.
It's a little early, Kelly, for the chants. All right, I do want to thank you. I want to thank those that were part of that madness of the video. Brendan, Kayla. Where's Mr. Corshane? Where is he? Is he here? Joe, there he is. Joe, come on, stand up. All right, Edgar, Luis, where's so that's going to lead us into our conversation. As we think about the start of the school year, we do want everybody to be inspired. We want there to be energy as we get ready for what I think is going to be a terrific school year. And we're honored to have a speaker here today who's going to really ground our work in the upcoming school year. But I did want to share a few comments with you about our work in the upcoming school year. I often show, some of you have already seen this picture, but this is my son. He's going to kindergarten this year. I think 3 years ago I showed him going to preschool. He's 5 years old, he's going to kindergarten. And he has great sayings about how he's feeling about the start of the school. And it pretty much mirrors how I'm feeling, probably mirrors of how a lot of you are feeling. But it also mirrors what our children are feeling. So he first said to my wife and I that he's half excited, half nervous, and then a little bit scared. And then he said the other day to me, he said, Dad, I'm getting that rosy cheek feeling as I get ready to go back to school. Not sure I know what that, I think I know what that means. But this is that's the excitement. My son could not be more excited to go to kindergarten. He's nervous, but he can't wait. And that's the beauty. Every year we get to turn the chapter, turn the page in the book. It's a new start for all our kids. It's a new start for all of you. So I just want you to remind you, I was out the other night at the dollar store buying gifts for something, and you can see the energy of kids going and getting their back to school shopping. Everybody's ready for the start of school, and there's an excitement that comes from it. And I'm sure all of you can remember what that was like. This is our mission. I just read it before. We continue to be committed to Pathways for All Students. And I just want to, I'm not going to spend time reading this to you, but I just want to remind you, this is about college, career, and community leadership. It's not one or the other. We don't expect all students to go to college. We expect our students to have choices where they can excel in either college, career, or community leadership. And we believe there's multiple ways of doing that. Here's our vision as a district. This is where we hope to be. I'm not telling you this is happening now, but we're on our way towards doing this for every student, which is you graduate with more than just a diploma. And in a year where there's been changes in the bilingual law in Massachusetts, that includes the ability to get a bilingual certificate that says you're biliterate, bicultural, bilingual. That's important for our students to have. The idea that students can have college credits. We have 5 times as many students than 4 years ago who are in early college. That matters to kids. That matters to families who often can't afford to send their students to college, and they're leaving us with credits. And we are in one of the most competitive states in the country. The students of Holyoke deserve to be competitive as well. And just as important is what our students are able to do. This year we're introducing a new writing curriculum in the younger grades. Students need to be able to communicate, both verbally and in writing. If they can't, they're going to struggle. All of us know that any workplace you go to, you have to be able to communicate. That's the name of the game. And if our classrooms are silent and our students don't have the opportunity to do those things, then they're not going to be ready for the workforce. We want them to be critical thinkers. Our kids can think with the best of them. We just have to give them opportunities to do it. They use their ability all the time to think critically outside of school. I question, do we do enough of that in school? And then I've heard over and over how important it is for people to come back to Holyoke and to be engaged, productive, community leaders. That's what we want for our students. We want them to be the next mayor, the next elected official, the next school committee member. I do want to call that we do have a school committee member here, Mildred Lefebvre, who's here. Let's give her a round of applause. And finally, we want our students to be good people. Somewhere we've lost this idea of just being good people and mindful individuals. That counts, and it's important for us to focus in as a school district. So what is a pathway? When we talk about a pathway, what do we mean? And I've gotten this question more and more, and this summer I did a lot of thinking about what is a pathway, and I've shown this to people. This young man was graduated in our summer graduation, right? He did not take the normal path. He had a pretty roundabout way of getting to graduation, but he graduated. And when I think of pathways, I think about opportunities, experiences that meet individual students' academic, social, and behavioral needs. We have to meet students where they are. We have to personalize and individualize as much as possible. I don't care how you get to the stage and get your diploma. There are many ways, and there should be many ways for students to get there. A pathway is also one that connects the students' unique interests. Schools have to evolve in 2018. Our schools look way too much like they did when I was in school or when you were in school. Our students have to feel connected and motivated by their learning, right? That's the whole vision behind our academy models. As we think about launching a STEM school, we're creating experience that students are going to be connected to and motivated. And we do know that students learn more when they're excited and engaged by school. We need to use technology. We need to use their passions. Here's a picture of our students in the culinary program. We need to better promote our career technical opportunities for students. Our students respond to those, and we need to make learning a lot more interesting for kids. Many of you have told me that school is too boring for kids. But I've also been told, look, if we don't give kids a lot of work to do and worksheets, they're not going to be ready for the test. They're not going to be ready for the MCAS. I would submit to you that if we try to individualize learning for students and we connect with their interests, they're going to be ready for the test. Okay, they're going to be ready. But if we give them low-level work to do, they're not going to be ready, or low-level experiences. I've shared this quote in the last few weeks with new teachers. 2 weeks ago, the Teacher of the Year in Massachusetts shared this about her work as a teacher. I want every student to feel like what they're learning is authentic, relevant, and contextualized. That's how students learn. And we've got to consider that as we open school for this school year. Look, we've made progress, and I think it's important to note the progress. I'm not telling you that we've succeeded in every area. We have a lot of work to do, and we have not hit home runs in every area for our students. But I want to give you all a big round of applause for some of the gains that you see here. That's the work of the people in this room. Give yourselves a big round of applause. The graduation rate is a game changer for young people. It's a game changer. Look at the increase for Latino students in the last 5 years. That's significant work. That's people working hard to ensure that all our students are successful. Look at the reduction in the dropout rate. 5% is way too high, but we're getting there, and we're ensuring that more and more students stay connected to school. Still too high, but progress is being made. We see chronic absenteeism. We've made improvement with kids, and we need to, this year we're going to have a push, Thrive in 5. You have to stay no more than 5 absences for the year, and there'll be incentives as a district. The fact that we have a quarter of our students missing more than 10% of the days is concerning, but we are making progress, and you're making progress. In literacy, we can't share the MCAS results yet. Some of you have seen your own schools, but we are making progress in literacy. You can see the gains, not where we want to be as a district, but we are moving in the right direction, and there are some schools that made impressive gains in literacy. We're still stuck in math, and we're going to double down on math as a school district, but you can see the places we made gains, and then students feeling more connected to school. Our students are telling us in the survey they feel more connected with school from one year to the next. But again, this is the beginning of a lot of work that needs to come. Nobody said that this would happen in a few years. It takes time to turn around a district, and we're doing it. And you should celebrate the progress that each of your individual schools have had, because each school has great stories to tell. So how do we double down? I just want to talk briefly before I pass it over to Dr. Howard. We have to look through the lens of equity, and I want to read this to you. We have to push ourselves at the district level, the school level, and the classroom level to use the resources we have, time, money, and decision-making power, to ensure that every child, whether they are a newcomer, experience trauma, are being raised by a grandparent, and or receive special education services, is successful in our schools. We have to push ourselves and continue to do that, because this has got to be about all kids. It's not just about some kids. We still have 30% of our kids that aren't graduating. We have too many kids that are still not reading. I know we can do this, but we've got to challenge ourselves to have these conversations across the district and across our schools. So as a system pushing for this equity, what does that mean? Okay, we need to make sure that all students get the supports they need to be successful. Doesn't mean that everybody gets exactly the same, but we want all our kids to be proficient, to be at grade level and be successful. We have to work on providing more access to our families. Some of you know that we've adopted new policies around translation and interpretation. All families in the Holyoke Public Schools deserve to have access to information about their children's learning in their native language. And we're lucky. We have 2 languages here, predominantly. We have a few other languages. There are communities in this state that have 80 different languages. I think we can do it. I think we can push ourselves to make sure that parents get information they need in both languages. We have to raise the level of expectations for kids. Just because our kids are far behind or are poor doesn't mean that the level of expectation shouldn't be high and that we shouldn't be presenting them with cognitively demanding work. What the kids are learning in Longmeadow, and what the kids are learning in fancy suburbs around here in the Boston area, our kids should have the same experience. And often, we cradle our students, or we baby them, because we're afraid to push them. But we need to push ourselves to give them the same experience. I think we have to do a better job of providing all of you with the tools around trauma, training, and mental health support. We've already started work with our counselors, but we need to do more in classrooms. We have a second behaviorist that we've hired for the district to work with teachers, to support schools around students that present with mental health challenges and trauma. We're not ignoring them. We know we have to get better at supporting you in doing that work. And you'll see in an email I'm going to send out in the next few days what those steps are as a school district. We're not going to ignore them. This is a critical work if we're going to move toward equity for all kids. And the final and the most important thing is embrace our students. Empathize with our students. Know our students. And don't be afraid to love who our students are. Love who they are. They come to us with so many talents, maybe different than what our perception is of what kids should be at that age level, but our students come with so much to offer. Some of you know that many of you may have seen the movie The Greatest Showman. I watched it this summer. I don't get a lot of time to watch movies during the school year. But my kids made me watch this movie. And what I loved about the movie is the song This Is Me. And I've asked our choir to perform that and to really think that this is a line that strikes me. I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come. Our children come on August 28th. Be ready to love all our kids.
It's hard not to be proud of our students. But I just want to tell you that when Dr. Shrike came to me and said, I want you to do this song, I said, well, they don't know it. So he said, can you get them together? Sure. Well, 2 days ago, we got together for an hour. We got together for an hour yesterday, and we performed it together.
Let's give it up for Mark Todd, too. Remember, here they come, August 28th. So I have this distinct pleasure in introducing our keynote today. I had a chance to hear him speak over the summer, at the beginning of the summer, and I was just tremendously impacted by his words. And it seemed the right fit for the work that we're doing here in Holyoke. We asked him to come speak. In Holyoke, he had the chance to be in 2 schools today, met with members of our district equity team, and here he is today, ready to deliver our keynote address. Dr. Howard is a professor in the Graduate School of Education and Information Studies at UCLA. He's also the Associate Dean for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. Professor Howard's research examines culture, race, teaching, and learning. He has published several best-selling books, and his most recent book, Expanding College Access for Urban Youth, document ways schools and colleges can create higher education opportunities for youth of color. Dr. Howard is also the director and founder of the Black Male Institute at UCLA, which is an interdisciplinary cadre of scholars, practitioners, community members, and policymakers dedicated to improving the educational experiences and life chances of students of color. A native of Compton, California, I think this is the most important thing, where he also worked for years as a classroom teacher. Dr. Howard was recently named the recipient of the 2015 UCLA Distinguished Teaching Award. In 2016 and 17, Dr. Howard was listed by Education Week as one of the 60 most influential scholars in the nation, informing educational policy, practice, and reform. Welcome to Holyoke.
How we doing, Holyoke? How we doing? I want to start off by saying thank you, Dr. Wright, for this opportunity to be here with you all today. It's not easy being a leader, right? As many of you in this room know, because when you're a leader, folks think that they can do your job, folks think that you don't do your job well enough. So I want to just thank Dr. Wright for being out there, being on the front line, doing good change. Thank you. And if that video he showed earlier didn't show you how community was to kids, I don't know what is, man. We had like all kind of stuff. Mad props to Dr. Wright, so thank you so much. I also want to shout out our students, man, they were amazing. Amazing. Much love. A lot of talent over here. This is our future, folks. This is our future right here, right? It goes to show you, where did Mr. Todd go? See, I love Dr. Wright said that. He asked them 2 days ago, could they sing this song? He said they don't know it. But I like what Mr. Todd said. We can get them to learn it. 2 days later, they did this, right? That's the teacher right there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, folks. Our students can do anything that they want to when they put their minds to it. And it's easier for them to do it when they have committed, caring, dedicated teachers. No limit to what they can do. So that's a shining example of that, okay? All right. So, look, I don't have a lot of time with you. I got a lot to say. A little bit of time to say, first and foremost, my honor, my privilege to be here with you today. Whenever I'm in the presence of educators, and I consider everyone in here to be educators, even the youngest, you're educators too, you don't know it, right? These are the future teachers right here. They just don't know it. We know it though, right? So anytime I'm in the presence of educators, I want to say that I appreciate your commitment to what you do. You sacrifice your time, your effort, your energy every single day for other people's children. Your service changed our world. Your service makes us better. Your service invests in our future. So if you don't mind, I ask all my audiences and educators to do this. Can you take like 5 seconds for me? Maybe 10, no more than 10. Turn to your elbow partner and thank her or him for this. And say, thank you for doing what you do. Can you let me know? I know you're going to have a competition later, but I also need you to look across the gym and just wave to somebody, blow them a kiss, say thank you for it, let them know. Show the love, show the love. There you go. All right, we're all one thing. It takes a village. It takes a village. And I want to say on behalf of the folks that what I consider 5,300 students that you all serve every single day with their families, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is not easy work. This is not easy work. Because when you are serving other people's children, and you are dedicating your time, your effort, and energy, I don't think that educators get nearly enough recognition for the work that they do. I don't think educators get enough recognition, enough appreciation, enough affirmation. So I want to say again, I appreciate you for what you do. It matters. I stand here because educators saw something in me that I did not oftentimes see in myself. I stand here because I was born to a teenage mother who didn't know what her future held, let alone her son's future. Yet still, I stand here now before you. Not because there was something great about me, but there was something great about the people around me. And every single day, you have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of those young people. Every single day when they come to you, you let them know how much they matter. Every single day you see them, you let them know that there's brightness and brilliance and there's potential in there that's untapped. And so I want to spend some time with you today talking about issues around equity. Because I'm concerned that we have too many kids who don't get enough. And that's what makes our job even more important. Equity is hard work. Equity is not easy. Equity is not always comfortable. But I'm here today to agitate a little bit. But I'm going to agitate with love. I'm going to agitate with care. I'm going to agitate with some concern about how we all have to dig a little bit deeper to make sure we're giving every student what he or she deserves. So I want us to make sure we stay connected here. So as I say what I say with you today, please be in touch, stay connected. Let's make sure we can get the kind of village where all of our students, regardless of their backgrounds, are getting all the things that they need. Can we have that conversation today? Can we have that conversation today? Okay, we're starting on that. So stay connected on Twitter. I communicate with educators all the time, but let's kind of get into it. I want to start off by saying, look, I asked the question, do we really want equity? We use that term a lot. I maintain that equity is like the new coconut water. Everybody says they like coconut water, but that stuff is terrible. Don't act like you like it. Oh, I can't stand this stuff. I know some folks like it, but it's like dishwashing liquid to me anyway. But everybody says they love coconut water, but I don't see many people drinking it. Everybody says that they love equity, they want to do equity, but then I wonder if it's actually happening. So for us to start this conversation today about equity, I want to make sure we're operating from some kind of common definition. When I talk equity, when I think equity, part of what I want us to think about, be mindful of, is that equity means we're willing and we're okay giving some people more who have historically received less. Okay? Say it one time. We're willing to give more to people, to communities, to populations who have historically received less. Now, just saying that sounds good on the surface, but there are people, when they hear that, they get a little nervous. And that nervousness is centered around the idea that, wait a minute, so that means you're going to take something from me to give to somebody else? No, we're not talking about taking more. We're talking about making sure that we acknowledge that there have been some historical injustices to certain populations. There have been historical gaps that we are still suffering the results of. And equity says we're going to identify who those groups are, and we're going to put more time, attention, effort, and resources into those communities, and those populations, and those students. Okay? Because equity is different than equality. Equality says we can give everybody the same thing. If we gave everyone the same thing today, guess what we would still have? Inequities. So we're going to name some groups today. This is what the equity talks about. We're going to name some groups who we know historically have not gotten what they need to deserve, and how we have to dig deeper to make sure we're giving them more. That makes sense to folks? Okay, so as we have this conversation, equity also is putting kids first. Put kids first. Say it with me. Put kids first. Put kids first. Put kids first. Put kids first. We have to say that every single day because sometime in school, we get caught up in a whole lot of minutia that's not about kids. We get caught up in who gets the parking, what parking spot, how can they get to be close to the building, I'm not close to the building. Stop. We're talking about putting kids first. I think that everyone in this room is in this work because we believe in serving kids. When I say this, I don't care what your title is, what your credentials are. If you are an adult in this building, you have an impact on children every single day. You can either mentor them or you can be a tormentor to them. You can either uplift them or you can denigrate them. Your words, your actions, your deeds matter in big time ways. So we're talking about putting kids first. So we're talking about equity. I need you to understand a couple of different things. One of my favorite authors, Father Gregory Boyle, has this book that he writes called Barking to the Choir. He talks about the power of radical kinship. And he says one of the problems that we have today is that we don't have a kinship amongst each other. We live in a world and a society where we have so many people who have so much and then so many people who have so little. We see people who are suffering, we think that's not my responsibility. We see people going without, we say that's somebody else's task. Father Boyle says we have to develop a sense of radical kinship. He said kinship is the game changer. He said we're oftentimes stuck in judging, comparisons, scapegoats, and we, the choir, are stuck in complacency. We have settled, and we have become comfortable with people's failure. We have settled and become comfortable with inequity. We have settled and become comfortable with people struggling and their misery. I'm asking us as educators, change agents, to think about how we develop this sense of radical kinship, where we see all of our fates tied to each other, right? We will do better when we see somebody suffer. We think that's my child. These are all of our children. All of our children. Show of hands, how many folks here have their own biological children? All right, there we go. So you can relax. I have 4 of my own. Love them all. They're spoiled rotten, but I love them, okay? Now, how do we feel if we know one of our children are being hurt? You're like, I'm ready to hurt somebody, right? How do we feel when our children are sick? We feel helpless, like, what can I do, right? We know how we feel when our children suffer. We feel compelled to do something, right? I need us to develop that same sense of emotion and passion and energy around other people's children that we have around our own. That's what radical kinship is all about. When you choose to do this work, you have to say, I might be the only adult in that child's life that gives her or him some semblance of hope. I might be the only adult in that child's life that tells him or her that somebody cares about them, right? Radical kinship says that we have to see all of these children as our children. It's not their children, they're our children. Say it with me, our children. Okay, so now, saying it is one thing, but doing it is something different. So as we start this equity talk, it also means empathy. And I think empathy is important because that helps us connect more. And when we say empathy, I want us to be mindful of a couple of different things. As you all know, empathy is perspective taking, okay? How do we begin to understand why we have young people who do what they do? Empathy also about trying to be in that person's shoes. It's easy for us to judge. We're quick to criticize. But empathy says, let me step back and try to understand what would it mean if I had to live in that set of circumstances. Okay? Empathy also means trying to be in that person's world. It's one thing to tell a student to try harder, put forth more effort, but that student might say to you, I'm trying my best every single day. If you knew my circumstances, if you understood my world, if you know my daily struggles, you might have a little bit more patience with me, a little bit more compassion for me, a little bit more understanding of me, okay? Empathy also means listening and learning, okay? I always use the saying that my grandmother says, the reason why you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk, okay? So I'm saying we have to listen and learn from our students. They are trying to communicate with us every single day, okay? Especially the young ones. They got a whole lot to say sometimes, right? But we listen and learn, we get a glimpse into their world. And then we have to try to understand. Because what we have to recognize is that our young people, some of them have amazing resilience. For them just to show up at school is an accomplishment. For them just to be there on a day in, day out basis took a whole lot more than we recognize. For them to show up and put a smile on their face when they have so much turmoil and toxicity in their lives says something about their strength and their perseverance. So we also have to understand that all their behavior is functional. So we cannot criticize our students. We cannot judge them because what they do in their minds makes perfect and total sense. Psychologists have told us whenever that what we do serves a purpose. When that child lashes out, there's a reason behind it. When that child shuts down, there's a reason behind it. When that child's angry, there's a reason behind it. All behavior is functional. We have to understand that when we see that, we need to ask the question, what is going on in that student's life? What are the circumstances that she's dealing with? What might he be going through that explains why he's behaving the way that he or she's behaving? So empathy is about perspective taking, understanding, and being in that child's world and in their shoes. That's what equity is all about. But also talking about equity requires us to do a little bit more. And I'm going to push you all today to think more about what this looks like in your day-to-day, because equity talk requires us to stay engaged. There are some folks who, when they think the word equity, think, I don't want to hear this conversation. This really is just a bunch of nonsense. No, this is not nonsense. This makes total sense. Because we're talking about helping those who are at the bottom, helping those who are oftentimes overlooked, taking stock in those who are oftentimes not seen. So stay engaged. As hard as this conversation might be, begin to think about what this means for some of the most disenfranchised populations. We're talking about equity means you're also going to experience some discomfort. So I'm going to say some things today that probably cause some folks to feel a little bit uneasy. And I'm okay with that. You know why I'm okay with that? Because if you're uncomfortable for just the next 30 minutes or an hour, that is no price to pay for some students who are uncomfortable in classrooms every single day. Okay? I'm going to tell you, sometimes we as adults need to be uncomfortable to help make our young people comfortable, right? We have to understand what discomfort feels like to help create more comfort for them. Because guess what? This is what we signed up to do. This is what we've chosen to do, okay? So we're going to experience the discomfort today. And we're going to speak our truth because I think everybody here has a story. And I think sometimes we don't share our stories. When we speak our truth, we realize we have different perspectives on how we see this work and how we have to think about the students and the families that we serve. So you're going to speak your truth. I'm also going to encourage some self-reflection. Because as we start talking about these topics today, there are going to be some folks in this gym who are going to say, you know what, that's not my issue. Their parents need to do that. The adults need to do more. We'll point fingers. We love to point fingers. I'm saying it's easy to point fingers. It's harder to point the finger at self. I'm going to ask all of us here today to focus on what we can do better. Because see, what we do in education, a lot we play the blame game. Parents blame teachers. Teachers blame parents. Who loses at the end? Our kids do. I'm saying let's put our students first. I tell parents, stay in the parent lane. I tell teachers, stay in the teacher lane. If we all stay in our lane, we can be much better off. Okay, so we're going to ask ourselves to encourage self-reflection. And I'm going to ask you to expect and accept some non-closure. Because I'm going to say some things and I'm not going to give you answers to because I'm not the answer man today. Okay? I'm just going to start some stuff and then I'm going to let you all figure it out. I'm not going to do that, okay? But part of the issue is sometimes we want to have these hard conversations. We want them to be over with real quick, and it's not that easy. Because equity is not comfortable. Equity is not convenient. Equity sometimes is hard. It's a heavy lift. It takes time. And we're not going to all come together and sing Kumbaya together and say we figured it out. Because it's not that easy, okay? And then I'm going to also ask you to listen and learn from data, okay? So, given that, let's get into some data real quick. Because these are the ways we start to identify who are the population we're talking about. Let me share with you real quickly high school graduation rates in our country. And this tells a story. Not everybody graduates at 100%. Some groups do well, other groups not so well. I wish that were a little clearer, but I will tell you what it says. It says that overall we graduate about 87% of our girls, 80% of our boys. That's across the board. But what we know is across the board, all ethnic and racial groups, our girls outperform our boys. Go girls. Go girls. Go girls. Girl power, girl magic is real, right? All right? Now, you give me over there, ladies? Okay. But I'm also concerned about our boys. Because for every group, boys are falling behind. And in some cases, getting worse. And we should all be concerned about that because they're all of our students. If you look at your largest circle of our Latino boys, 76% are graduating from high school. That's not good, folks. Especially at a time when we see for white males, it's at what? It's at 86%. For Asian males, this country, it's at 90%. We cannot have any group that's at 76%. For black males, it's even worse, that's 67%. So when I talk about equity, part of what I'm asking you to do, Holyoke, is begin to dig deep and say, who are the groups of students in our schools who are not graduating within 4 years? Dr. Wright already puts that data up there, so I think it's a starting point to look at your data because it tells a powerful story about who is graduating. Folks, there are people who have college degrees who find jobs difficult to come by. So if you don't have a high school diploma, you are facing uphill battle. So I'm asking you to start looking at what are we doing for all of our students who are at less than 85% and say, what can we do? What can I do to play a role in helping to turn the tide? Because too many of our young people are not getting a high school diploma after 4 years. So that's a good starting place for equity. Where are our high school graduates? We lose 1.4 million young people every year who drop out of high school. I don't say that they're dropping out. I say sometimes they're pushed out. Because the way we do schools, we expect kids to act, think, talk a certain way that they don't. We say they're a problem. And we have to ask, how do we think about reimagining schools that make schools more reflective, more responsive, so that students don't feel like they are not responsive enough to be educated. And the sad part, the very kids that we drop out, that we push out, guess where they end up all too often? We love to lock them up. We'd rather incarcerate some of our children than educate some of them. And we have to ask the question, why are we so comfortable with that? Because it starts early. So let's take a look at how we start to push kids in certain spaces. So, we are now suspending children in preschool. Say it one time. We are now suspending children in preschool. How old are you in preschool? 4? 3? What does a child do in preschool to be suspended? They run around too much, they fight, they bite, they kick, they don't sit crisscross applesauce. I don't know what it is, right? So for example, there's data that tells us this, okay? In the field of exercise science, it says we should not ask kids to sit for more than 1 minute per their number of years that they've been on this planet. Right? So some of y'all can get up in a minute, some of y'all can sit for a while, okay? But think about it for a minute. What we do, we ask 5-year-old children sometimes to sit for how long? 45, 60 minutes at a time. And kids are losing their mind. We tell kids, sit down, cross your legs, cross your arms, don't move, don't talk, don't touch, don't breathe. And they lose their mind, right? And I'm saying oftentimes it's our young boys who are oftentimes, I think, wired a little bit differently who suffer the result of that. So when you look at this fact right here, we're suspending babies at 3 and 4 years old. But look, there's a clear racial ramification to it. Why are Black and Latino children only 35% of kids who are enrolled in preschool? But there's 62% of the kids we suspend once, 68% of the kids we suspend more than once. So this is why I say equity is hard, but we have to have some conversation about race because we tell Black and brown boys, Black and brown girls something that's not acceptable about them. But oftentimes white and Asian children behave the same way, but yet they get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Okay? Listen, talk to students, they will tell you, we get 0 room for error. 0 room for error, whereas other kids get time and time again to prove themselves. That's where we have to say equity says that can no longer be the case. Because we start telling kids at 3 years old and 4 years old that you're a problem. We talk to them like a problem. We treat them like a problem. After a while, they start thinking about themselves as being what? A problem. So if I think of myself as a problem, guess I'm going to act like a problem. So we have to start thinking, if we're going to have equity conversation, look at your data here in Holyoke. How are you suspending kids? And what's the ethnic and racial breakdown of those kids who are being suspended? Because it may tell a very similar story. Oh, by the way, I have that here, guys. Okay? Now, here's your enrollment. We've got about 5,300 students. In the 15-16 school year, we have about 853 suspensions. One group is overrepresented. We have about 78% of the students are Latino. But 85% of the kids that were suspended are Latino. That's overrepresentation. So we have to ask ourselves, what is that about? Look at this right here. Whites are 15% of the district, but they're only 8% of the kids who get suspended. So we have to say, if we're going to have the equity talk, we have to look at our data and say, what's going on? Because that's us right here. Why are we more likely to give white children opportunities that brown children don't get, okay? I told you, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable today. I told you I'm gonna make you feel a little bit hot. Somebody's sweating right now. I don't know who it is. Somebody's angry right now, like, why is he talking about this race stuff? That's okay. Because if you're upset now, I know my grandmother always told us, you throw a rock into a pack of dogs, you know the one that you hit because it's the one that hops. So if somebody's upset, I know what the upset is all about, because we're pushing on issues that folks don't want to talk about, but we need to talk about. Make sense to folks? Okay, let's dig deeper. Okay, so now, how and why does this happen? Number one, expectations. There are certain things we just don't have the expectations for. You see a young Puerto Rican girl walk into your classroom, sometimes you automatically assume language learner, been speaking English all her life, right? We think poor background, parents probably got more money than you have, right? We have all these expectations we have before kids even have a chance to show what they can do. I maintain we are all the products of other people's expectations. What we expect of children, they will either live up or live down to them, right? I told the group earlier, one of the things I always talk about, my mom used to tell my brother and I all the time, when you go to college, when you go to college, when you go to college. It's not if you go to college, but what? When? When you say that to young people all the time, they become self-fulfilling prophecies. So we have to ask ourselves, what are the expectations that we have for some students compared to others? Okay? And you talk to students, they can tell you who the teachers are, who believe in them, and teachers who are checked out. Okay? Let's go one step further. It's like implicit bias. Look, we all have some kind of bias. We all have, because we're socialized in a world that tells us to think certain things about certain people. But we have to be careful in education that we don't do this because it harms children. Okay? I say that because there's all kind of data that tells us that we see people, we put them in boxes and categories based on very superficial kinds of things like their height, their weight, their skin color, their gender. We have to stop doing this. One of the ways we can all start doing this, go onto the HarvardIAT.com, take an implicit association test. We have teachers take this test all the time, say, I'm not biased. I'm very fair-minded. I'm very open. I don't judge anybody. They take the test, they get their results back. After 10, they say, wow, this is not a good instrument. Let me take it again. They take it again, they do worse the second time, right? We all have biases, right? Look, part of the hard work and biases, we have to recognize that we got that stuff from people that we love. We all have family members who say some things that are not quite properly correct. I have a grandmother who I love deeply, but when I would take my kids to visit my grandmother, who's 95 years old, I would say, look, your grandmother's going to say some things that we just don't believe or repeat, right? I'm not the only one who has that family member in my family, right? Who says some things like this. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. We all have grandparents, parents, aunts, and uncles who will say something about particular groups that we know are not appropriate. And we got some of that stuff, whether we like to recognize it or not. We have to check ourselves, because if we don't check ourselves, that stuff begins to filter out into how we talk to students, how we teach students, how we have expectations of students one way or the other. Make sense to folks? What else do we do? We have no ratification. We don't see ourselves connected. And this R word is racism. Ooh, he said it. Ooh, right, right? The R word is real. And it happens in every school across the country. So please don't tell me it's not being held up, because it is. Okay? And the bigger we are to acknowledge it, the better off we can take steps to address it. Okay? But let me complicate racism a little bit. So when I talk about racism right now, what I want you to understand, I'm talking about racism in my mind is power plus prejudice. Okay? And I think we spend a lot of our time, we talk racism, we talk about white people and what they do to non-white people. And that is a big part of it, because most of our teachers are white when it comes to education. But when I'm talking about racism, power versus prejudice, understand this. Please let me make this point clear. I am talking about a mindset and a mentality that white people do not have the exclusive on. Because people of color can be equally as complicit in being racist towards kids of color just as much as white people can be. Okay? That makes sense to folks? At the end of the day, I don't think your racism is determined by your skin color. I think the racism is determined by what's in your heart and in your head about how you see kids of color. Plain and simple. So what I have happen oftentimes is when the conversation about racism comes up, the people of color think, well, this is not about me, it's about the white folks. No. It's about everybody. Because I've seen people of color who are just as discriminatory towards kids of color as white people are. Okay? But let me be clear, I've also seen white teachers who are also quite discriminatory towards kids of color as well. This is where we all have to check ourselves because racism is real. We all buy into it more than we recognize. I asked my white teacher to think about and recognize your white privilege. Just by being white, you have certain kind of privileges that you don't even have to think about, that people of color can't identify with. Like, I don't have privileges. I would give this example. To this day, when I'm driving, there's a police car behind me. I get nervous. And my white friends always say, well, why are you nervous? As long as you have your driver's license, registration, and car insurance, you're fine. No. That's not the case. Because I know people who look like me who've had all those things and they've not lived to tell about it. So I'm asking my white teachers to say, when your kids of color come into your classroom and talk about their racial realities, listen to it, learn from it, understand it, because they are being judged by their skin color more than they should have to be. Right? Our goal is to get to a point where race does not matter. We're not there yet. So we can't say we're post-racial. Okay? So we have to have hard conversations about racism because if you talk to students, they will tell you something that you might not think is the case. I told you we're going to have hard conversations today. We're going to push the envelope because this is about us doing the right thing because the same issues happen around gender. I told the group earlier, issues around gender are also real. I realize that I have male privilege in this body. There are things that people think about me for no other reason than the fact that I'm a male. Right? That I don't have to think about that. Women think about it all the time. I gave the example about being in the parking lot earlier today. I'm always in the parking lot. My wife says, what do you think about when you're in the parking lot? That's underground, it's dark. Because I don't think about anything but going to my car. Thinking about the food I'm going to eat when I get home. Thinking about the traffic on the highway. She says, see, that's why you have male privilege. That's why you can't understand what women go through. Women never think about food, or freeway, or traffic, or music. Women think about what? Safety, right? My wife says, I walk, I have my keys out like this. I got my hand on my pepper spray. Because I'm thinking about safety and assault, right? So again, so when women talk about their issues around safety, men need to listen to them and understand what those circumstances are. Issues of gender privilege are real. Racial privilege are real. So if you're a woman of color, you've got like 2 strikes against you already, right? So we have to have the conversation also about mental health. It is time to have a conversation about mental health. It's time to stop mystifying mental health. It's real. We have a lot of young people in our schools who suffer from trauma. Trauma is real. Trauma is all the stress that comes from violence, poverty, neglect, abuse. Folks, I cannot learn, I cannot think or concentrate if I am under stress. You have a lot of your students who have life circumstances that would blow our minds if we knew just a glimpse of what they deal with every day. You know why? Because some of them tell you about it on a regular basis. Some of you have opened up your hearts and your minds to the point where kids feel very comfortable coming to you and sharing their experiences. And I maintain we have to understand trauma because it plays itself out in different ways. And here's how it might play out. The 3F rule. You all see this probably more than you recognize. Kids engage in either the what? The flight, the fight, or the freeze. You see students who will either flight by withdrawing, daydreaming in classes, they're there but they're not there. That may mean something's happening. Something's going on. Students who fight more than we would like to see students fight. Because fighting becomes a mechanism of protection to not have to think about or deal with some of the traumatic issues that they're going through. Or the freeze, where kids, again, feel like they cannot function because they're so traumatized or triggered by things that are happening. So you have to understand trauma is real. And let me also help you understand why you must understand that trauma is real, because now we have research on this concept called secondary traumatic stress. Secondary traumatic stress, you all should know that, because secondary traumatic stress affects you. What is secondary traumatic stress? If you're around people who are in constant trauma, and you have close proximity to them on a day in, day out basis, like 180 days out the year, you start taking on some of their traumas and you don't even realize it. So you ever feel tired, depressed, anxious, and it's like Monday morning at 9 o'clock? It's because you're in close proximity to trauma. Some of you are tired already. We haven't started the school year yet, right? You're like, when is Labor Day coming, right? So look, issues of trauma are real, and you have young people who have trauma. Then look, let's go one step further. Many of of us in this room have our own untreated traumas, right? Some of us grew up with some crazy stuff in our lives that we still not dealt with, and it has an impact. So I'm going to ask you all to take care of yourself. Tell your elbow partner, please take care of yourself. Tell him, please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself because self-care is important when you deal with young people. So given all that we talked about, the question becomes, how do we fix it? What can I do? How do we start the equity work? What can I do as an individual? And first and foremost, I need you to understand a couple of different things. It starts with leadership. Leadership matters. Leadership matters. So, my principal folks, my teacher leaders, you need to really take care of yourself because a lot comes down on you. And we know that the data on leadership says that you have to do some things that are important. A, distribute power. You can't do it all by yourself. Have folks help you through your jobs. You got to be able to build trusting relationships with adults, celebrate a constant, be visible, and have high energy. So there's lots of things that principals have to do. Principals, I hope you understand this, that you may not have a lot of friends, but that's okay. That's okay. Everybody thinks they can do your job. Everyone thinks that you should have got your job, right? But the bottom line is you're there. So lead with integrity, lead with care, okay? But let me talk about the folks in this room. That's the folks who do the teaching and the learning. As they teach you, you interact with them every day. As I told the groups earlier, there's no more single important person than teachers. What you do, what you say, how you act, how you engage is powerful beyond words. Because many students will fight to the end because of things that you say to them. Many of them will tell their parents, my teacher said do it this way. My teacher said not to do this. My teacher said not to do that. You carry significant weight. So the question becomes, what do equity-minded teachers do? They do these three things. They know, they care, they act. That's what I need you to do. First and foremost, I need you to know that your students all are capable learners. I need you to care in ways that says that you would go to the mat for them just like you go to the mat for your own child in some cases. And I need you to act boldly and courageously. But let me tell you what this looks like in more detail. So on the first hand, you have to understand that relationships matter. Relationships matter. Relationships matter. Relationships matter. Relationships matter. Keep saying it. Relationships matter. There's a saying that says that kids don't care what you know until they know that you what? Care. I cannot stress this point enough, folks, that I think we do a better job helping to increase learning when we show kids that we are invested in their well-being. Plain and simple. When they come to your schools on August the 28th, which is how many hours from now? I told you, got the countdown going. They're coming, right? Get ready. Many of them will stop and will not even think about learning until they size you up. They are watching you from the minute they walk in. What is she wearing? Why does she have on those shoes? That shirt doesn't match with those pants. Right? What do you think about me? All these things are part of what happens in relationship building. I think in many ways, the principals may not like hearing this, but I think you need to spend the first 3, 4, 5, 6 days not focus as much on content, but focus on cultivating relationships with your students. All right? So, some people say, well, how do I do that? I don't know how to do it. Well, if you don't know how to do it, I don't know why you're here, right? Because this is what you're supposed to do. So I maintain, here's the things you can do. Hey, how about we talk to students? That's a starting point. These are some amazingly brilliant young people. They will tell us a lot. They won't tell us everything, they tell us a lot, right? But my thing is talk to them. They're bright, they're brilliant. I'm amazed by the kind of intellect they have. Even the 5-year-olds, the stuff they tell you. Boy, the stuff they tell you. But the 5-year-olds will tell you a lot, right? Talk to them. Let them do assignments that are tied to what they see, feel, hear, and do every single day. When I get to talk about things that are tied to my history, my culture, my background, I'm more interested. Too many of our kids don't get to read a single book where they see an author who looks like them. Too many of our kids don't get to open a book where they see characters who live in neighborhoods that look like theirs. Too many of our kids don't get to read about a history narrative that shows their history and their background and their culture, right? We do better when we see ourselves reflected in what we learn, okay? So kids need to have assignments that allow them to talk about their experience. How about you go to an extracurricular activity event for a student? Take your time to support your student outside of school. That says a lot about what you think about your time as it pertains to your child's well-being. We talked about this one as well. How about you greet your students every single day? You know their names, okay? And the folks I talked to earlier this morning know what I'm going to say after this. Not that you just know their names, but I ask you, please do not anglicize your students' names, okay? You're good for that one. You're good for that one. That child says her name is Yesenia. Don't call her Jessie, okay? If that child tells you her name is Araceli, is that you right there? Okay. If she's Araceli, don't make her Shelly, okay? If that young man says my name is Jaime, you Jaime right there, see? Don't call you what? Don't call me Jimmy. There you go. There you go. There you go, okay? Don't call me Jimmy, right? How do we get Jimmy out of Jaime, right? I don't know, but we do it because we want to be convenient for us. Names are part of identity. Identity is part of culture. Culture is part of history. History is part of family. Don't take away my family. Don't take away my history. Don't take away my culture, okay? Don't do it. You want to find a way to turn off a kid or upset a student when you decide to change her or his name, okay? You cannot do that. That is a major sign of disrespect in many people's eyes. So if you have to practice that child's name 7, 8, 9 times a day, do it. It's that child's name. All of us have names. Those names are special to each and every one of us here. That child says, my name is Jesus. Please. Don't call that child Jesus, okay? Don't do that. Learn names. Say it with me. Learn names. Learn names. How about this? Practice names. And get them right. Okay? Some of them take practice, but they're children and they're worth it. Got it? Okay. Now, we also have to share stories about ourselves. Everybody here has a story. You have to tell your story when you can, how you can to your students. A lot of folks in here have been through some stuff. A lot of folks in here have gone through some family drama. A lot of folks in here have lost loved ones and family members. A lot of folks in here went through some turbulent upbringings. A lot of folks in this room grew up poor. So that means you can identify with many of the challenges that your students have. The more you talk to them about those realities, the more you begin to help them to understand that they're not the only ones who have been through something. The more you talk about your challenges, the more they begin to see that you have more connection and counsel with them than they may have realized. Share your stories. You have important stories. You have powerful stories. You have stories that humanize you. You have to humanize yourself because some of your students think that you eat, live, and sleep in your school buildings. They think you have no lives. Help them to understand that you were once their age. They may think it was 100 years ago, but you were once their age, okay? Understand that. The other thing you have to do is create these one-on-one meetings with your students. I maintain that in my years of teaching, the students who are the most disruptive students, when I met with them individually, they were very different individuals. Why? I was giving them what? Attention. Many of our kids are just craving for attention, time, somebody to just care about me enough to take 10 minutes to listen to me, to learn from me, to hear my story, to hear my hopes, dreams, and aspirations. But then I'm also going to ask you to connect to caregivers. Because the caregivers, the mothers, the fathers, the grandparents, the grandmothers, the grandfathers are doing the best that they can do every day to raise their children. And just because they don't show up at open house or back to school night does not mean that they don't care. Understand that some of those baby parents don't show up are working 2, sometimes 3 jobs at a time, trying to provide for their family. Okay? Understand that. Stop assuming that because you don't see them that they don't care. My mother never came to back to school night. She never came to open house because she was working. multiple jobs. So my mother's working to keep a roof over our head, to put food on the table, to put clothes on our back, was her shine of showing her concern and care. So please don't judge parents and caregivers because you don't see them. Find ways to connect and communicate with them that lets them know that they are still a part of this process. Does that make sense to folks? Okay, what else do we need to do? We need to understand that culture matters. Okay, folks, don't take away culture. We are all cultural beings. Okay, I say this all the time because we oftentimes conflate race and culture, not the same thing. Okay, I told the groups earlier, understand that culture is this thing that makes us who we are. You want to know who we are? It's not the skin color that tells you who we are. It's the culture. It's the stuff we do, the way we live, the way our norms, our patterns, all the things that we do all the time shape our culture. I did this with the group earlier. Let me show you how we have to understand this. Just because people look the same racially does not mean that they're the same culturally. Fair enough? And two people can be different culturally but the same racially. Okay? Understand that we have things that we all get exposed to. I said this saying earlier. My mother had a saying around the household. She said, kids are to be seen. See, you guys knew it, not heard, right? Now I saw some white folks, some brown folks, some black folks all said that. We're all different members of different racial groups, but we have some same cultural patterns. Okay? I'm going to try another one. See if this one works. Okay, I'm going to say 3 words. Let's see if folks pick up on this one. You ready? Okay, God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
Now, how did you all know that, right? See, people are saying, well, what y'all just created, right? Did y'all practice that? No, there's some cultural norms that exist in church spaces, right? So you have to recognize that culture is what makes us who we are. We are cultural beings, okay? The only way you get to know and understand culture is by knowing your students, talking to your students, listening to your students. Let culture be your guide, because oftentimes we have far more culturally in common than we do with folks who might look different from us, okay? Understand culture matters. And here's the other thing we have to do. When I talk about racism, we have to stop these racial microaggressions. We need to know this term because this is what 21st century racism tends to look like. Okay? It's not this blatant kind of stuff. It's these subtle, unintentional put-downs that we make comments sometimes that we think are compliments, but they're still digs, if you will. You know, one of the ones I frequently get that I don't particularly care for, someone says, why? I heard you talking, you were so articulate. Like, what'd you expect? Right? Or another one I've forgotten, I've been out with my kids and say, Mom, your kids are so well behaved. Right? Somebody else I think of like, would you expect my kids to be like all over the place? Or the real doozy I got just about a year ago, my wife and I were at Costco, Sam's Club, somewhere. We buy big quantities of water. We were walking to the checkout, and the white guy said, wow, you guys must be getting ready to make a lot of Kool-Aid this week. Whoa. Wow. And so microaggressions, sometimes folks think they're jokes. You just take it too serious, just joke around with you. Look, intent does not negate impact. So when you have a Puerto Rican student who's in your AP chemistry class, and you ask that student, are you lost? Are you in the right class? That's a microaggression. When you tell a student, Ma, you speak good English, that's a microaggression. Right? Again, designed to be compliments, but sometimes put downs. Student does well on a test, you say, I'm surprised you did so well. I'm saying let's not engage these microaggressions. Let's make sure that we're giving opportunity where opportunity deserves to be for all students. One way you look at this, who gets access to the AP and honors classes? I would hope that if your district is 80% Latino, if I went to your AP and honors classes, if I went to your AP and honors classes, that I would hope they would look close to also being 80% Latino. Uh-oh, got kind of quiet here. Okay? I'm saying we have to start looking at our programs and look to see where certain kids are getting opportunity and where kids are not. Another area we make microaggressions is with language. We assume that all Latino children need to be in EL programs. Okay? we have this narrative about language learners, that they're not capable learners. They're slow. They need extra help. I'll say this and I'll say it time and time again. Folks, listen, we've known for a long time that people who speak multiple languages have a certain degree of cognitive dexterity, cognitive sophistication, more so than folks who speak one language. That means if you want to see who some of the gifted kids are, they're kids who speak multiple languages. Okay? So don't deny those kids of opportunity. Because some of those students who are 7, 8 years old are basically helping to manage their entire households. Right? They navigate jobs, schools, opportunities with their parents. They have the interpreters for lots of different people. Highly capable, highly intelligent. So let's not engage in that. Let's also not engage in this. You know what? I don't even see color. I just see people. Stop. Here's another thing. When I was younger, my mother would not allow us to say the L word. Lying. We couldn't say lying. Stop telling stories, okay? Because we see color all the time. And I'm saying, when young people come into your classroom, you've got black children, brown children, white children, embrace their racial diversity. Our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is what makes us unique, okay? Don't say, I don't see race. Don't say I didn't notice you're black. Y'all knew I was black and then I walked up here, right? Don't try to act like you didn't. I'm saying that we have to be comfortable acknowledging the fact that racial diversity is part of who we are. The sooner we can deal with that, the better, okay? Now, the other thing we have to do is stop this. Here's another way that racial microaggressions play out. Martin Henry called this pedagogy of power. In some of our classrooms, we just water down everything we do. We just teach to the test, talk about the test, go over the test, excessive testing, testing. If I was king or queen, I'd get rid of a whole lot of testing we have to do in school, right? But listen, with some of this pedagogy poverty, the way we treat kids, there's a lot of yes and no questions, a lot of ditto sheets, a lot of wasted time, a lot of busy work. This is what kills our kids every single day. We're more likely to do this to poor kids than kids of color. Stop this pedagogy of poverty in your classroom if you do it. Let's move towards a pedagogy of plenty. If I have it here. Where'd it go? Come on now. It's like disappear on me. Wait for it. Well, pedagogy of poverty, I'll tell you about it. A pedagogy of plenty is about engaging in high, rigorous thought, critical thinking, deep meaning. Kids love to argue and have the Socratic seminar. But a pedagogy of care also means having this pedagogy of love. We talk to students like they are our own, and we tell them that they're capable of doing anything they put their minds to. I said we have to put this L word back into this word, love. I think if we start showing love to our students, we would engage them, we have high expectations for the challenge, and we make their culture and history integral to what we do every single day. So I'm going to ask us also to do this piece right here. I'm going to ask us to move away from being sympathetic teachers. I think most teachers fall into one or two camps. They're sympathetic or they're empathetic. Sympathetic teachers tend to feel sorry for students. Feeling sorry for students has never changed a student's outcome. Okay? Because when we feel sorry for students, guess what we do? We lower expectations. Then what we do? We don't challenge our students. This hurts students every single day. We blame the parents. No rigor in our instruction, deficit-based thinking. At the end of the day, we create failure as common in our schools. Stop being sympathetic. Don't feel sorry for students. Don't give up on other people's children. They deserve, and they need, and they want better, okay? Now, I'm asking you to not be sympathetic. I want you to be empathetic, because empathetic teachers listen to and learn from students. They realize you may have had a tough weekend, so you couldn't get the work done. I'll give you 2 extra days, but you still are going to get things done because I need you to still be held accountable. That's what empathy is all about, trying to understand but still help the kids learn. Here's another thing that empathetic teachers do. You realize that kids from low-income backgrounds can learn. This one gets personal for me because I have far too many people who tell me that low-income children, poor kids can't learn. I don't know who came up with that tale. If you think that poor kids cannot learn, I mean really, and there are people who think that. If you think that poor kids cannot learn, I will put down the microphone right now. And we'll let you walk out. We'll escort you out. We'll wish you a happy life. Because if you think that poor kids can't learn, you're doing a major disservice to a lot of children in this district. You cannot do that. You cannot do it. Bottom line. You can talk about the fact that, well, they don't have parents who do this, that, or the other. Stop making excuses. Poor kids can learn if they're challenged with love and care, they can learn. Because empathetic teachers say also, I recognize your resilience. I realize that you showing up at it. You being here matters. Some kids show up despite the fact they do not have their basic needs met. You have kids who show up for school. And they've had nothing to eat since the previous day's lunch. Think about that for a second. We have lunch at 11:30 in the morning. And you go an entire, 12, 15 hours in between meals. My showing up means something. I used to watch when I would teach how my students sometimes report at lunch. Can I have your milk? Can I have your banana? Can I have your apple? Why would students do that? They're hungry. Understand that kids show resilience every single day just being here. Empathetic teachers also hold students accountable to rigor, depth, and complexity. Even though you have difficulty in your life, my heart goes out for you. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but we still have to do the work. We still have to get things done, okay? And then we also expect and demand excellence. We tell our students, I want nothing but the best for you every single day and what you do and how you do it, right? Having a teacher, an adult, conveys to you every single day that I expect nothing but your personal best starts to help you realize I can do something. I told the group earlier that was my 5th grade teacher, Miss Russell. Miss Russell was one of those old school, no-nonsense teachers. My way or the highway, right? She told us every single day, in this class, you will learn, right? To this day, I don't stand at a podium because Miss Russell had a podium and give me flashbacks, right? And Miss Russell would have us come up to her podium. And she would look at our homework, and she said, I want your personal best. If it wasn't your personal best, she had those glasses that sit down like on a nose like this, and she would look at the homework, and she would look at you, and she'd look at the homework, and she'd look at you. If it wasn't your personal best, you know what she would do? She'd rip it up. Like, oh, right? And she would say, do it again, because that's not your personal best. We couldn't stand that lady. In the beginning. Because over time, we realized that she had our best interests at heart. Because I told them earlier, over the course of my 5th grade year, they've had recess 5 times, 6 times maybe. Miss Russell said, if you can't spell recess, you're not going to recess, all right? But part of what Miss Russell did was she told us that she expected and demanded action from us. She didn't care if you're poor, black, white, red, green, or blue. Here you will learn. Because I'm going to push you and challenge you to the best that you can be. She wasn't concerned about being our friends. Teachers, where my new teachers at this? Where my new folks? All my new folks, stand up, stand up, stand up, new folks, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Okay. New teachers. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Look, folks, take a look at them right now while you can. See how they look nice and fresh and eager? Take a picture of them after Tuesday and see what they look like, right? But first and foremost, you chose the most important profession in the world, but your job is not to be your students' friends. Your job is to teach them, okay? Teach them. Don't tell your students that we can be Facebook friends or we can be on IG together. No. On Instagram, and that's not what you do. Teach your students. You can cultivate relationships with them. That does not mean you are their friends. Thank you so much for that, okay? Support them, okay? You do what you need. But you gotta love your students. You love them by listening. You love them by pushing them. You love them by challenging. Too many of our kids have what I call learned helplessness. They say, I can't do it because too many sympathetic teachers have left them off the hook, okay? Are kids going to resist sometimes? Yes, that's what students do. But what students appreciate is a teacher who never gives up on them. Don't give up on our children. They need us more than ever. And then finally, when I ask you all to teach, like lives depend upon it. You know I want you to do that? Because they do. And there are lots of students whose lives hang in the balance based on what we do. This is such a transformative work that we do. It's such a powerful lesson that we serve. We change lives every single day. All we know is it takes one caring adult to make a difference on the impact of students. So stop feeling sorry for our kids and start lifting them up. Stop lowering their expectations and say, I know they can do it, right? Push them to be great. Push them to be amazing, okay? And then finally, I want us to start engaging in what I call micro-affirmations. One of the ways we can start to dismantle microaggressions is by engaging in micro-affirmations. Something as powerful as these little sayings that you can say to students every day, such as, repeat after me, I believe in you. I believe in you. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see you. I know that you can do this. I know that you can do this. I am here to help you. I am here to help you. I believe in your potential. I believe in your potential. I know you will succeed. I know you will succeed. You will get through this. You will get through this. I admire your brilliance and intelligence. I admire your brilliance and intelligence. Micro-affirmation is little things that when they're said over and over again, they begin to instill our students with confidence and belief that they are capable of doing anything that they put their mind to. I'm saying starting on Tuesday, in about how many hours now? 80 some odd plus hours, they're coming. They're coming with a vengeance. They're coming with a whole lot of energy, right? Are you ready for them? Are you ready for them, okay? Equity means being boldly unapologetic about serving our most vulnerable students. Let's make 2018, 2019 the best year that we've ever had here in Holyoke. Have hard conversations. Push our students to be better. Push ourselves to be better. Let's make sure that we leave no child behind, that every child who walks through any building in this district feels like they are loved, that they are cared for, that they don't have to apologize for their culture, they don't have to apologize for their language. We're not going to cheat them. We're not going to exclude them. We're not going to push them out. They're going to feel like they belong because we know if they belong, we are doing our jobs. Remember, these are not other people's children, folks. These are all of our children. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to thank you, Dr. Howard. We're going to close with some inspiration here. We're going to show our kids that we're ready. So, but before we close, I just want to thank you, Dr. Howard, for putting us on the path to excellence through equity. And this will be a refrain you will hear all year long from our work. And I think he set us on the course, or the pathway for doing that for the 2018 school year. You know that every year I like to do trivia, a trivia question, okay? And it took me probably till March to award the winners from last year, but I'm going to do it earlier this year. The first 10 people to send me an email after 3:30 to tell me what word will win the prize if you get this question right. What word in the English language has the most definitions? I have to make it academic. So what word in the English language has the most definitions in the dictionary? I'll take submissions to my email address after 3:30 for prizes, the first 10 winners. All right. Now, this has been a tradition. We're going to end with chants. We are going to have Dr. Howard consult with some other folks here, but he's going to make a determination. We're looking for quality and unity, and I'm going to call out each school by name, and this is how we're going to end today with your chant. Are people ready? I don't know what's going on. All right. All right. I'm going to call schools in alphabetical order. All right, here we go. So listen carefully, Dr. Howard. Here we go. I want kids all over the city to hear you. Donahue School. Hey, are you done? Is that, are you done? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Hey teachers! Hey what? Are you ready? For what? Teach! Teach what? Teach greatness! My greatness goes. This is how my greatness goes. Stop. And you stop, stop, and you stop, and you stop, stop, and you stop, stop, and you stop, stop, and you. Hey parents! Hey what? Are you ready? For what? To teach! Teach what? Teach greatness! My hands are high, my feet are low, and this is how my greatness goes. Stop, and you stop, stop, and you stop, and you stop, stop, and you. Hey Mark! Hey Mark! Say what? Are you ready? For what? To lead! Lead what? Lead greatness! My
I just want to point out that Mr. Swiber in the middle did none of the hand motions until halfway through. All right. Thank you, Donahue. That was interesting. Okay. Ian White. A little worried about this one. Kelly School. Thank you, Kelly School. All right, Holyoke High School. Holyoke High, where you at? Where you at? We're here, we're there, we're stronger by the hour. Holyoke High is in the house and we have got the power. Elementary teachers, we're going to take back everything we say about high school teachers. All right. Lawrence School.
us being in the boat together, and all around the building, we have this saying: there is nothing more powerful in an organization than having all team members rowing in the same direction. So we are ready to roll.
Maureen really loves that rowboat. Metcalf School. Morgan School. All right, Peck School. Let's see how the new school does. STEM Academy. signers reading the video? All right, Sullivan School. All right, we end with Veritas Proclamolio. Judges are going to be a quick conference, judges, so we can get people on. The judges have, it's a tie.